Well, you know, we've all made mistakes in life, but for some, a single bad choice led them down a path that ended with jail. But 11 News reporter Jason Aubrey tells us there is a place ex-offenders can go when they make that decision to finally turn around their life.
It's huge. If I have to say, it's probably one of the primary roles that we use to help offenders get their life back on track.
The reason the Hope Bridge Project is important for reducing recidivism is that my experience has been that for everything we do while people are incarcerated, where we fail is once they get out of prison.
Why do I think the Hope Bridge Project is important for the participants? Well, you know what, I think when you get out of prison, obviously you're not really connected to the society that you're going into. So this is a way to connect them into the community by showing somebody that is caring out there, that they're going to stand next to you, answer questions, have concerns that do you know how to find a place to live? Are you connected to somebody out here in the community that you're not going to be floating on your own? So I really believe that I've seen firsthand, being involved in the program for 14 months, that these people that are administering the Hope Bridge Project, they care about these people. They really have an interest in their being successful outside, and they're kind of helping and adapting them to the community that they're getting out into.
This program gives them a chance, gives them hope, as the name says, to find that there's a chance for them to prepare for an education, to find suitable employment, and become a vital participant in their community.
Chris Merrill struggled for much of his adult life with a drug addiction. He's made bad decisions trying to satisfy that addiction, and he's spent time in prison because of them.
It was probably the worst thing that's ever happened to me in my life.
Chris served his time and is now trying to start his life over, but it's not easy. As an ex-con, he continues to pay for the mistakes he's made.
In the 1980s, the mentality across the country was lock them up and throw away the key.
George Rail runs the Hope Bridge program at Pueblo Community College. It's a program designed for ex-cons who've made their decision to turn their lives around.
These people can really turn themselves around, and all we have to do as individuals and society is give them a chance.
The Hope Project will offer you hope if you don't have any. And if you have some, it will get you that much further ahead.
As a graduate of the program, Chris is now a straight-A student and has been clean for 4 years.
It's the best thing that's ever happened to me. I feel good about life now. I've got a chance, so to speak, a new beginning. A lot of people say it's too late for me now, all that, blah, 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 but it's never too late. Plain and simple. There's always a chance.
My first reaction to the Hope Bridge Project on the first day was I really didn't know what the program had to offer me, but I stuck around and checked it out anyways, and it turned out to be a good thing for me. It gave me a sense of direction of where I was going in life. It gave me an idea of what I wanted to do for not only people like myself, but for the community as a whole.
I just thought maybe just go in there and let them help me fill out papers and figure out, and I wasn't going to really get anything out of it. And what are you going to get out of it with a bunch of former offenders in a class? Are you going to ever learn anything? And I actually went there and actually learned. They gave me the resources and the confidence that I needed.
My first impression was everyone was very welcoming, and we discussed everything that was going to happen during the semester, and we got to know a lot of information.
The reason the Hope Bridge Project is important for recidivism is it does just what the title says. It bridges between being incarcerated and adjusting into the real world. Once someone has spent quite a bit of time in prison, they've been told when to get up, when to eat, when to sleep, when to go outside. And where we've seen failures in our system is when these inmates are not prepared to cope with outside stresses. This Bridge Project gives them life skills to where they can cope.
Education creates opportunities. Opportunities creates confidence. And with our population, with probationers, right now we have so many offenders that are unemployed, and having an opportunity to go back to school and get a higher education just creates more opportunities for them. And when you have more opportunities, you feel better about yourself, it creates confidence, and it motivates you. So yeah, I think it's huge. It's one of the primary things that we want to use to help offenders.
Education reduces recidivism, I believe, mainly by changing the culture for these individuals. We've been involved in prison ministry for some time, and that prison culture is something that gets ingrained in them. And education is a paradigm shift for them. And if they can change their culture, and school is a good opportunity for that, then I think they can continue to change their culture as they go on into life.
I would say that I've had the pleasure of going in prisons and doing mock interviews with inmates that are getting out in a short time. And that's interesting to hear. That the first thing I feel is that they don't know if they can make it when they get out. There's a real fear that, do I have what it takes? I've been in here a while, I don't know what's going on in society. So I think if you can bridge that gap between getting out and getting that first job and teaching them some skills that the Hope Bridge Project has brought to this program, it's unbelievable the amount of confidence they gain.
What it allows is to nurture all those students that have fallen, but we help them to bring them back up in order to stay out of trouble. In the state of Colorado, 52% of the students that have gone through the process go back again after they get out of the prison or jail. And so we want to make sure that indeed that we capture a bigger percentage, that they get incorporated back into our society and to our workforce and also to our daily lives.
I believe the PCC Hope Bridge Project is successful primarily because of the people that are in charge of the program, their willingness, their desire, their passion to make sure that everyone succeeds. The love that they show towards the inmates is reflected every time I go to one of the sessions. And this is something that those inmates have not experienced probably for their whole lifetime. So not only does it have to be a good program, it has to be supported with an excellent staff, and that staff is here at PCC.
Feel like you drowning in a shallow puddle. I know all too well the